All I dream of is your eyes. All I long for is your touch.
The soft morning light filtered and clear distance curtain gently nudged Vine away. She stepped beneath the warm shade, instantly reached out to the other side of the bed, but it was cold and empty. There, she blinked a few times, her world a blur without her glasses. Sitting up, she rubbed her eyes and glanced toward the sound of footsteps. The bathroom door creaked open and out walked Jungkook, half-naked. Towel slung, looked around his waist, droplet of water trailing down his chest. Ryan squinted. You think he was wearing a shirt or wear his skin color tone? Jungkook, you really shouldn't be looking at me like that. You frozen, wear your glass and gasped. Ryan, oh my god, I wasn't trying to say anything, I swear. She helped immediately, covering her face and turning away. Ryan, I thought you were wearing a shirt. I can't clearly see without my glasses. He didn't reply. When she dared to peek out from behind her finger, he was gone. You climbed out of the bed, taking on a rope. She rushed to the kitchen, determined to do at least one thing right. The table was already there. The maids were already clearing up the last bit of preparation. Maid, food is served. My master had already left early. Mine, he already left for college. She nodded, so he sat down and in silence in the seat across from her, painfully empty. You rushed to the college, your bag bouncing against his side as you darted toward the main building in a hurry. You didn't notice a crack in pavement until you caught your toe of his shoe. You hit the ground, books scattering around you, your palms scraped against the rough concrete. You went slowly, pushing yourself up, but no one came to help. Not even a glance. You were the campus nerd, always quiet, always alone, easy to ignore as you gathered your things with trembling finger. Lars Quill echoed down the hallway. You look up, there he was, surrounded as always by the flock of girls. They clung to every bit. Sad, and why wouldn't they? He was this cool golden boy, effortlessly charming, unfairly handsome, and your secret husband. You stood up, brushing off his skirt and limping away slowly before you could notice you in the crowd like that. You didn't stand a chance, not even as his wife. Class wasn't any better. You tried to focus, scribbling note half-heartedly as the lecture went on, but your heart throbbed relentlessly. You coughed lightly once and again. You tried to muffle, but was no use. Professor, Vine, if you can't control yourself, then leave. Vine, ma'am, I'm sorry, Professor, I don't want an excuse. Get out, you're disturbing the entire class. Laughter broke out behind you. You glanced around, cheeks burning. Your gaze fluttering across the room, afraid to meet his eyes. You didn't want to know if he was laughing too. Without another word, you packed your things, holding back tears, and walked out of the room with your head low. Your cough echoed in the empty hallway as the door closed behind you. You stood silently in the corridor, the voice of the classroom far behind you. Your back leaning against the cold wall, arms wrapped loosely around yourself. The empty hallway gave you a brief moment of peace. But your mind wasn't rest. Vine Peewee, does he even notice me anymore? Or was I always invisible even to him? You barely had time to process the ache in your chest. Before everything began to spin, the light above you blurred, your knee weakened, and the world tilted. You walk up to the soft rustle of fabric and the faint scent of antiseptic. The nurseroom, you blink groggily, pushing yourself upright to the bed. Your head felt heavy as you limp cold. A cool hand on your forehead. Nurse, you had a pretty high fever, 102. Someone brought it in, but it wouldn't stay. You frowned, confused. Why, do you know who it was? She shook her head. Nurse, no, sorry, they didn't speak. To stop you, he didn't left. You should go home early. You need proper rest. By the time you returned home, the house felt too big, too quiet. The maids offered you soup and a blanket, but nothing helped. You stayed curled up in your bed, sweating through the wave of fever and chest. The pain in your head was nothing compared to the ache in your heart. Sleep wouldn't come. You sat up slowly, a blanket wrapped around your shoulder, your eyes blurry from exhaustion. At the sound of the door opening, your heart skipped. He is home. You step out of your room quietly, peeking into the hallway. Jungkook had just walked in, still in his college clothes. His expressions were unreadable as he walked straight into his study, closing the door behind him. You smiled faintly. The smallest bit of hope lighted in your chest. You step over and knocked softly on the door. It opened, and there he was, standing stiffly, as if he was hiding something from behind. When did you have lunch? You said. Your voice soft and tired. He didn't meet your eyes. Jungkook, go care about yourself. Don't bother me. The door shut on your face. You stood there for a long moment, frozen, staring at the closed door, like it might open again if you just waited, but it didn't. You looked down, the weight in your chest growing heavier, dragging you inward like quicksand. Back in your room, you sank under the bed, curling into yourself as thought cold and twisted in your mind. Does he hate me? Did I do something wrong? Is this how it's going to be? Being married to someone who pretend I don't exist in public and push me away in private. Tears in your eye, but you blinked them away. You didn't have the energy to cry. Eventually, the fever, exhaustion, and overthinking pulled you into a restless, heavy sleep. You stirred gently from your sleep, a softest touch brushing across your cheek. Like a whisper, you fluttered open your eyes, but the room was empty. Confused, you sat up slowly, your hand in a tangled mass, and the blanket slipping off your shoulder. The fever, it was gone. Your head no longer pounded, your body no longer burned. You pressed your finger lightly to your forehead, cool. But then you caught your eye faint wet footsteps trailing across the wooden floor, staring from your bedside and heading out into the hallway. You followed them curiously, half flirting, maybe it was him. The trail ended near the kitchen, where you found one of the maids standing, holding a mop. You sat smiling softly, and realization dawned. Man, you took care of me, didn't you? The maid looked up in surprise, a bit flustered. Maid, I had just wiped your face and checked in. When you were sleeping, nothing much, miss. Man, thank you. You said it for the first time in a while. You meant it. With your whole heart, you lingered, stay by your side, and chatting about food, the weather. Even a silly drama your boss started. Watching last yesterday, it felt normal, comforting. Later that day, footsteps echoed down the stair. You turned and saw Junko coming down, dressed in black jogger and fitted tank top, headphone hanging around his neck, ready for the gym. You hesitated first, but gathered courage and walked up to him. Man, can I come with you to the gym from today? He paused, eyes scanning her face for a second. He thought he might say no like always. But then he nodded once. Jungkook, go change your clothes. The small smile breaking onto your face. You didn't dress like someone headed for a hardcore workout. Just a comfortable top and legging, your hair tied up in a messy ponytail. But you didn't care, because for the first time in what felt like forever, you'll get time to spend with him, even if it is in the same room. The gym buzzed with energy, loud music, weight clanking, and student chattering. As soon as you walked in, the familiar wave of nerve hit you again. You barely took two steps when the girl stormed around Jungkook like peas to honey. They laughed at his joke, brushing against him on purpose, and practically shove you aside you like it doesn't exist. You stumbled back, barely catching your balance. You didn't glance at the skull. You bit your lip, pushing down the jealousy, rising like a bitter taste in your throat. Fine. You were here to work out, not to watch him bask in attention. You made your way to an empty machine, awkwardly trying to mimic that you've been other doing, but your body wasn't used of any of this. Every movement felt unnatural, and your arms trembled with their effort. Sam need help. A voice came. You turned and saw Sam, your classmate, walking over with a friendly grin. He waved casually. You gave him a weak smile. Why, hey, yeah, kind of struggling. He chuckled and stood behind you, gently guiding your arm and correcting your posture. But then his hand slipped a little too low, resting on your waist. You tensed immediately. Every muscle in your body screamed discomfort before you could say anything heavy. Silence fell. You turned your head and saw Jungkook standing there, jaw clenched, eye dark. Sam quickly pulled away his hand, stepping aside. Jungkook's voice was cool and sharp. Jungkook, are you stupid? He walked toward you, his tone cutting. Jungkook, first day on the gym and you are trying to do with this machine. You flinched at his words, turned into silence. Sam stepped in front of you. Sam, hey man, let's no it. Talk to her. She's just trying. But Jungkook didn't even look at him. He shoved Sam lightly out of the way, muttering, Jungkook, stay in your limits, before steering off his own corner of the gym, putting his headphone on like nothing happened. Everything was staring, whispering, and some were even laughing. You stood frozen, feeling like a joke, like a prop in a show you didn't sign up for. Just as you were about to turn away, a hand grabbed your wrist. He pushed you aside to a quieter corner of the gym, his grip tight but not painful. Jungkook, what's wrong with you? Why are you standing there like a dumbo? You came for a gym or what? You look up at him, eyes glassy. Man, I'm sorry, Jungkook. I think I shouldn't have come. He let out a frustrated breath. Jungkook, there you go again. You never said anything. What's your problem, huh? Always hanging your head like some broken wind-up doll. You stared at him, the tears were right there, burning your eyes, but you didn't let them fall. Why, something shouldn't be said, Jungkook. You enjoy your gym. I'm sorry. I disturbed your perfect little workout. You turned a bit before you could reply. Your voice barely above a whisper. Fine, don't worry. I won't make the same mistake again. He reached out instantly, as if to stop you, but you were already walking away. At this time, you didn't look back.